Hi and welcome chart artists. As per my update on Friday, that harmonic pattern that we discussed played out to perfection and it looks like bullish momentum wants to continue to the upside. Today, I have another harmonic that I'm keeping an eye on. Let's dive into the price of Bitcoin, analyze the situation here together, and also the full moon has printed today. And for those of you that has been following me for a long time, you know that I dollar cost average into some of my favorite altcoins, including Bitcoin and Ethereum, when the full moon prints. That is my rule. That is the strategy that I follow, and I do so using Bybit and Mexi. Go down into the description right now where you guys will see full moon printed over here, and we can go and analyze the price of Bitcoin in a moment. And go down into the description, you will see for my community a 20% reduction in your trading fees using Bybit, signing up with this link right now. And also I use Mexi here from a day trading perspective where you don't currently have to KYC. Low fees at the moment for nice scalp trades to the up or to the downside. Right, go down into the description right now, sign up with Mexi for the lowest fees and Bybit for a 20% reduction in your trading fees. Right, let's get into the price of Bitcoin. Right, zooming out here, you guys will see on Friday's update 10 altcoins that are currently in buy zone. Go check out that video. Great alpha inside of there. Here you will see I spoke about this potential harmonic that is now played out to perfection, where we tapped the 0.786 that I mentioned in the video, and we have already tapped the 0.618 from a profit perspective, and we're still going higher, potentially to come and claim that A point here to the upside. Okay, let's go analyze the price of Bitcoin here, and here you will see this is where I spoke about this potential harmonic, and we were moving up here, and then we got the dip down to the 786 level for continuation here to the upside. So when I take a fib from the low to the high, you drag it across, you can see we tapped the 786 level to perfection, where this harmonic has played out, where the first profit taking area was around about here by the 618 when you take a fib from the C point to the D point, where I've taken some profits over here, and I've left some of the position open to come and play the C point and the A point right on top here. Okay, so quite a nice little trade here that played out to perfection. But as traders, we are not always right in terms of predicting the market. It's about observing the price reaction at each level. With good risk management, you can get nice profits in the bag. Right, what are some of the levels that I'm keeping an eye on today? Okay, so we can now take this out the way, just get rid of this, take the harmonic out the way. When I zoom in to a little bit of a larger time frame, okay, remember I mentioned during the beginning this moon phase, and part of my trading strategy is when the market is in bullish momentum to the upside, I dollar cost average using the full moon strategy over there, and I've spoken about this during many of my live stream updates. Right, here you can see when we printed the new moon over here, we still found upwards momentum before the price cooled around, and we had a nice little deep retracement here to the downside. Now the full moon has printed, and this is where I dollar cost average into my portfolio and open up a couple of swing positions as per the update that I made on Friday. 10 altcoins still in buy zone. Go check out that video, great alpha over there. Here you can also see that when we formed this full moon over here, we still had a little bit of a correction, we found support, and then we had a massive momentum here to the upside. Will this time be different, or are we just going to find ourselves consolidating here, not even taking this high for continuation to the downside? Let's analyze the price of Bitcoin here. Just taking the moon phases out the way, switch on some of my daily analysis, and this is the potential harmonic that I'm now keeping an eye on. Remember, harmonics don't always play out, and like with patterns and trend lines and any trading strategy, you have to observe the price reaction at each level and make a trading decision with good risk management. But this is what I'm currently watching now, where this harmonic to the upside played out to perfection, but from a larger time frame perspective, taking this high into account, this is potentially a harmonic that I'm now keeping an eye, is to say that we have massive resistance here where I've got this red box. Okay, we also have the all-time high of 2021 where we broke through the all-time high, we failed, we got acceptance back below the level, and this could potentially be a retest for continuation to the downside, or I want to see us for momentum to remain here to the upside. You want to see us break through here with high volume, flipping this resistance into support for continuation to the upside, to potentially even come and claim the X point and all the liquidity that lies here above. Right, from this harmonic perspective, the situation that I'm currently observing over here is to say that, well, perhaps we break through this 618 and perhaps we get a little rejection. We make a higher low compared, taking this structure into account, and then we find the steam to break through, not successfully, SFPing from this naked point of control that I have over here, also in confluence with the 0.786 for an SFP and continuation to the downside, where you take a fib from C point to D point, and at the 618, that is where you want to take profits from this high, from this low to the high, and it's also in confluence here with the 382. So if I just take this fib out the way, you will see here by the 382 is a profit area target for this harmonic pattern, where we potentially bounce and then break through to come and claim the highs, or we find weakness back below this resistance. Okay, you retest the scene of the crime and you find further continuation here to the downside. Right, so this is the one scenario that I'm keeping an eye, is to say that there is a possibility that we can reject here by this D point in confluence with a 786 to find continuation here until the 0.382 for either a bounce, for a then successful breakout to the upside to come and claim this liquidity, or a rejection where we still fail to break through the all-time highs, sending us back to lower levels where we come and claim the C point and the A point. Right, let's just take the scribble here out the way. Okay, so this scenario basically explains if we do find momentum here to the upside, there is still that possibility. I see we have massive liquidity above these highs over here. So from a bearish perspective, there's definitely a possibility where we find momentum here to the upside, we reject in this area without even reaching the D point for continuation to the downside, and we'll just have to observe CVD and bullish momentum here to the upside, because it could still potentially be where you have a trend building up, you reject over here, you come back down, you bounce here on a trend connecting these two lows, the A and the C point, right, which is still bullish structure, and then we find the strength to break through to the upside. Okay, another scenario is also that we fail to break through here. Okay, this was the top, the local top for now, and we find further continuation to the downside, even coming to claim this naked point of control that I have over here at $56,900. Right, so these are basically the trading scenarios that I'm keeping an eye on. And remember, it's about observing the price reaction at each level to take that trading decision with good risk management. We have to, in summary, keep in mind that we have massive resistance here by the 0.618 level, okay, in confluence with the all-time highs of 2021. And also when I go and switch on the daily levels over here, you will see that we have two daily levels here close to each other that can also offer either support. If we break through, it can offer support for continuation to the upside, or it could add additional resistance for this area to be a rejection zone to the downside. And it would be very interesting to see that, well, if we do fall down here, do we build a bullish CVD between this pivot and this pivot that could give us that clue that we're going to find momentum back to the upside, breaking this level, flipping it into support for continuation to the upside, where we either reject by the D point in confluence with this naked point of control at $71,000 for then a deeper correction, or continuation finding strength to the upside to come and claim all the liquidity above these highs. Let's go have a quick squiz at liquidity. Okay, so looking at liquidity over here, you can see that we have liquidity both to the up and to the downside here on the 24-hour time frame. So price can really go either way to go and grab liquidity to either fill some short bags or long bags to the upside. What's interestingly, if I zoom in here onto the 1 weekly time frame, the picture then shows me that we have way more liquidity to the upside than to the downside for now. And liquidity often acts like magnets, where the price is here already. Can we find the strength to come and grab all of this liquidity here by the $69,000 level, which is also in confluence with that resistance area that I've just shown you, to grab the liquidity for momentum here to the downside? And then we'll just have to observe the price reaction as we go down lower. Are we building bullish CVD to continue the momentum to the downside, or are we first going to come and claim all the liquidity below these lows over here? Right, let's go and dive into a little bit of market sentiment. Okay, first up, Vivek writes, are you mentally prepared for what Bitcoin is about to do? Okay, so comparing all the bear markets, and then we had like, which they call the pre-bull phase, and where we are right now, which they consider the first bull run, and continuing this bull cycle until around about the end of 2025, and saying that we are only here when you compare us to the previous bull cycles, where you can see, well, even inside the first bull cycle, you can still find corrections to the downside, grind to the sideways before you find that explosive move here, potentially next year to the upside. Right, so a lot of people consider this still being early, during the early phases. If you're buying right now, you're adding to your spot backs, you are still early for potential massive benefit here still to the upside. Right, next up, Bitcoin halving on track to be on the 20th of April. Bitcoin halving around the corner. Are we ready? Personally, I don't think we're going to hit the 20th and price is just going to rocket and not look back. You can clearly see historical data on the price of Bitcoin that when the halving took place during the previous cycles, it wasn't just a straight line to the upside, often followed by a little bit of corrections, and then maybe 2 or 3 months later where you see the momentum start to kick in. Right, next up, new Bitcoin holding of various nation states, and here you can see United States still the biggest holder of Bitcoin, and interestingly enough, we've been following El Salvador for quite some time, and they are here the 7th country on the list, and I'm quite concerned that my country is not even featured on the top 10, and it would be nice to see more countries being involved over here. I mean, South Africa, where I am from, I don't even see them on the list. It would be nice to see more countries participate in buying up some Bitcoin and Ethereum from a long-term perspective. Right, next up, news. Swiss citizens who own a 3A pension account can allocate up to 5% to the BlackRock ETFs. Right, so quite bullish news where citizens from a pension perspective can now add Bitcoin to their pension portfolio. Right, so still bullish sentiment out there. Next up, Filecoin exhibits a bullish retest of the bear market range top, signaling potential upwards momentum. Right, let's look at Filecoin here at the moment. And these were one of the coins that I highlighted during my YouTube update on Friday that was still in the buy zone. And now currently it looks like we are finding support above these highs. Okay, we have now flipped these highs into support. So, this to me is now a support zone where you don't want to see us lose this area. And what happened over here with the price of Filecoin, you can see we dipped in, right? Let me grab my pen over here. We dipped in, we found support at these highs, and now you really want to see continuation to the upside for bullish momentum to continue, and I will just be tracking this momentum here to the upside and see where this takes us. Right, next up, myth busted. Polkadot is not dead. Fact, DOT is one of the busiest by developer activity. Right, please do not sleep on DOT. DOT is also part of my spot backs, and I've also spoken about this coin on Friday. Let's go analyze DOT here quickly. Right, here on the price of DOT, you can see, let's just zoom in here onto the daily. Also, one of the coins that I highlighted during my Friday update is to say, okay, let's just zoom out here. We were inside here in an accumulation zone. Yes, the cycle top of the bull market of the previous bull cycle. And we do have some resistance on top. As always, if you have price to the left-hand side, you have to break through those resistances. But now it looks like we have found support above these highs. Right. These highs over here are offering support. And typically you would want your support box over here. And you want to see us break through here. Okay, hold it as support for continuation to the upside. Right, and I have this trend just tracking the momentum here to the upside. And also what I mentioned during my update on Friday is that if price had to come back down here, retest this trend, that would be a super interesting buying opportunity where I would add some more to my spot bags. Right, but for now, we are holding these highs or this box over here, and it looks like we are finding momentum here to the upside, where we can then find the next resistance around about the $16 level for Polkadot. Okay, but it's still one of those coins that haven't done the phenomenal things like some of the other coins and meme coins, so perhaps there is still a lot of gas in the tank here to find upwards momentum for Polkadot. Next up, let's go look at Atom. We may be at the cycle low for Atom. Next few weeks, a bounce upwards, we can identify a potential bullish divergence. Right, here you can see the Atom BTC pair that I've got over here, and I've been tracking this momentum here to the downside, and I mean this would be the ultimate breakout against the Bitcoin price, where we could see Atom absolutely exploding into the air. But for now it looks like we found support inside. You can see connecting these highs, nice support area over here where we've now dipped into it, and it looks like we could be turning around. But the momentum that I'm now keeping an eye on is this momentum here to the downside. Is I want to see us break through here successfully, hold this trend, not break down back below, for continuation here to the upside, where we will then face this resistance from this downsloping trend, where once we break through here you could see a massive explosion from Atom against the price of Bitcoin. So this is where you want to build your positions, and this is what I am currently doing at the moment, is that as long as we are inside of this support zone, this is a great accumulation zone for Atom. And for me, definitely a coin I want in my spot bags. I am extremely bullish on Atom, and this is where you want to buy. You do not want to wait for these breakouts, because then you're already late to the party. Right. If you are brand new to trading and you would like to know how to get started and get some of the basics out the way, go check out this video right now. Until the next one, cheers for now.